And you're on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mir Office Hours from May 2025. The first item we've got on the agenda is actions from previous meeting. I don't think there were actually any actions recorded on the last meeting.
I think you have to pin us. Yeah, I'm going to.
I think the only actions recorded was that I finger wagged both you guys to start like reviewing some Wayland protocols so that I could get them like merged and released.
Yeah, and we have done some, but yes. I think you accidentally reframed that on Nico.
Yeah, I think you accidentally made that worse.
Yeah, I've now zoomed very, very deeply on Matt, on Matt, and this guy on the right of Matt that I don't know.
That is Nico.
It's Nico. Hi.
Hi.
Show my full video to. Yeah, I think it shows it to them, but not us.
You click on the piece.
So this just goes read.
Hey, I clicked it.
You guys exist.
We don't see
oh
you.
my gosh! There's more people again.
All right, so yeah, we are here in Frankfurt, just finishing up our 2510 engineering sprint. And what? Getting tired, but nice to see you. So what do we have on the agenda?
So the next thing on the agenda is the Mir 2.21 release. Do you want to talk about that, seeing as you put it on the agenda?
Do I remember what's in it?
You certainly didn't record it in the change log.
It's not there yet. So we're working on it. Like I said, 221 release. We branched it out last week, and it's coming. I don't think there's anything significant for you guys that those things are going to come next. Like on we took the list that you gave us and then worked on it last week in terms of planning it out.
Which moves us neatly on to the next item, which is our 2510 roadmap, which is what we're planning to work on over the next 6 months. And you'll be glad to hear that we've got some resource to do some of this stuff.
You're muted, me.
I am muted because I'm waiting for you to say something. I want to know what your 6 months are because I don't have anything to say until I know what you're gonna do. I'm doing this because I want to know.
A bunch of stuff, some of which is filling in some of the Wayland protocol requests.
Yeah, there were a couple that were mentioned in the context of portals, whose names escape me just for the moment. And there was EXT Workspace, which I did actually start looking at for Mirrorwave, and then got distracted by life.
So basically, image copy capture and an image copy source in the context of full displays, right? We're not getting into top levels just yet, but you will be able to do this. So that's actually the WLR Pro portal, screen copy portal thing, because that will allow us to move to the newer stuff. Just core protocol updates. Alan started that already with WL Compositor, the core protocols, WL Compositor in the first place. EXT data control as well. I know that's something that Neil, you were kind of edging on. Sync objects we already have in, just not released, right?
We have the PR is up and is waiting on just fixing the weird tests.
Okay, so next we have the local WAN support as well. So all of those things we have scheduled, and redoing the old tab switcher so that it's actually something that is a client rather than built into the window manager. And yeah, and something kind of unexpected is we're actually getting more into Rust, and we will be writing the input platform in Rust to kind of up our security posture. Yeah,
Enjoy the packaging.
That'll be fun for you, Neil.
so that's why I left it for the end. Why?
Nope.
We have to go again. We didn't hear you.
No comment on my part, but I will say that I'm pretty sure the poor soul who is working on the Mir packaging for Debian is going to be a little sad. But yeah, whatever. I mean, like, you already have the pluggable backend thing. I assume this is talking about like implementing like something that actually plugs into that backend in Rust. So whatever. Yeah, I don't care.
More or less, yeah. Like we will probably have to, we'll likely have to refactor the that API because like right now it's a C++ one, but we just have to look at it. It might actually be an opportunity for us to actually improve it as well, right? Because we'll see what is in. So it's just
well, it would be interesting if the Mir internal and external APIs were swigged so that they could be, so that you could write modules and underlays and overlays in different programming languages. So that's an option. Like we use this in the DNF5 project where we use Swig to bind and expose interfaces for writing parts of things in other programming languages. And I believe Swig also supports Rust binding as well. So that is certainly something you guys could look at.
yeah, we will. What's next?
Well, the next thing will be the Miracle WM update.
Oh. Yeah,
So
I mean, I'll probably, I will tell them. I'll probably release version 0.6 in the beginning of June. Maybe mid-June, who knows? I implemented WLR output management v1, and that went pretty well. I still have some loose ends there, but it was super easy. And I built out a C API that you could use to build a settings application on top of it, which I did in Flutter. And Neil loves it. But you could potentially do it in anything because it's just a C API. So that's the reason all the business logic is in the C API, and then Flutter is just a front end that like reads and writes from it. And I'm fixing a lot of the animation code, and I'm going to try to get rid of all of the warnings and the compile errors before I ship it. Oh, and I added Fedora to CI, Neil. So it builds against Fedora.
finally.
Yeah. Well, yeah, finally. Anyway, that works. And yeah.
And finally, any other business?
So
Actually, we had one more topic there, right? Like we had
No.
yes, well, not maybe so not on the forum, but
Not
okay. So Alfred, so you're here. So you there is this topic of Lomiri on Asahi, and as it stands, I know that Chris gave you some pointers on what needs to happen in Kitmir, right? Is there anything that is working, isn't working? Do you need to know more?
So I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you. Like your microphone is really bad. You weren't muted.
very quiet. I can barely hear you, Alfred, and that's only because the speakers are right in front of my face.
Can you hear this?
You are not better.
Still using the other microphone, probably.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
Yes.
Finally. All right. So the question was about Qt-Mir and Asahi, right?
Yeah.
What? It is?
Yes. So
Why?
I reported a bug about Qt, or rather about the initial impression was that Mir was doing something iffy.
Oh, yes.
Whereas Chris gave me a good pointer to the Qt-Mir work that he's been doing. And it's basically revolving around the render, I'm pretty sure I won't get the terminologically correct terminology right. I'm not going to get that right, but what I would say is that yes, there is something off between what a typical Intel system selects as a DRM rendering and all the GL provider stuff. Whereas on Asahi, it's a little different. It has two cards and it needs to switch to the right one so that it selects basically the right render provider.
Yeah, that's because on ARM platforms that use the KMSRO framework in Mesa, this is split. So in ARM platforms in the kernel, you have the display controller, and then you have the render device. Yes. And in Mesa, this split is mirrored down into two DRI devices. And so what Quinn does is that it pokes the devices to check if it can actually load a GL or a Vulkan context. And if it fails, then it moves on to the next one. And then it automatically marks it as ineligible, especially for swapping or whatever, because like it needs to be able to do compositing, which you can't do if you don't have hardware accelerated graphics.
Right. But in this case, just like a simple test was just to select not the first, so index 0, but the second one. And that one works. That one works. So it's just a matter of detecting it properly. And I've taken a small look, a little short look into Qt-Mir itself on how to provide the data at the right moment in time so that the decision on the right render provider can be made just in time, right? Needs a little bit of work.
It's also a little bit more complicated if you're one of the unfortunate souls that has a tickle bar on their Mac, because now you have four DRI devices.
Right.
Because you have DRI devices for the tickle bar because it's a display. It's just a really tiny one, and so you need to be aware of how to handle that. Strictly speaking, that is not exactly a Mir problem, and more of the thing that uses the Mir library problem. But but it is definitely a thing you need to be aware of.
Yes, I wouldn't have figured it out by myself if Chris hadn't just taken a look at the topic himself. So it's a win, right? It's not
so
fully
there yet.
Does that mean
you're bringing Lemiri to Fedora? So that does that mean you're bringing Lemiri to Fedora? Because if you're doing Asahi stuff, then that means you got to bring it over to us.
Are you willing to lend me a hand?
Sure, I can help you out. Like, if you're gonna, I can help you get started. Like I did with Matt with the Miracle Spin. Like, I'm happy to help people get bootstrapped and do stuff like that. Like, I'm just not going to be able to do all the work because I'm already stretched fairly thin.
I'm just saying it might take multiple nights of me bugging you and annoying you about random topics regarding Fedora packaging while you, okay,
That's
good.
Fine. That's okay.
It's a bunch of dependencies.
I am totally okay with teaching people things.
Me too. I get that.
I think the cupboard behind Neil is actually full of his hands because like he has so many hands. Where are all your hands? And by the way, Gnome just hang on us, so we're not seeing you. It's just a static image, but at least we can hear you still.
Why are you running Gnome?
Exactly, right?
Why are you running GNOME? What the heck, dude? Disappointment everywhere. All of it. I made Fedora Lux Qt use Miraway just for you.
I don't use Fedora either.
Well, okay, but like you can do this on Ubuntu by hand if you want.
I know. At least I'm not on macOS anymore because I fixed my laptop.
Good.
So the other thing that I have on the second list, because we didn't migrate it to the first list, It's like
You can put it under any other business, that's fine.
yes, that I'm doing that right now. Is that we're actually it's just an FYI. Like we're looking to deprecate EGL stream and migrate NVIDIA support to GVM, just to get rid of the extra backend that we have. Like so in 26, like 2604, basically we don't want to have an EGL stream anymore. So like that's something that we're going to look into at some point soon.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, I'm probably going to be turning off the EGL stream backend with the 221 rebase because during the life cycle of Fedora, development cycle of Fedora 41, EGL stream was deleted from X-Wayland. So I didn't have time. I didn't realize that this had been deleted at that point at the conclusion of 41. And so I didn't turn it off in 42 cycle. So I'm going to be turning it off in 43 cycle as part of rebasing to Mir 221 because like it doesn't work anymore. There's nothing to do. And also NVIDIA is starting to ask people to no longer package the EGL stream support libraries. So I expect them to get deleted within the next year from Fedora as we remove everything that depends on it. Right now, hilariously, Mir is the only thing left using the EGL stream libraries from NVIDIA. So as soon as I turn that off, it will become eligible for retirement.
Sorry.
All right.
That sounds good. Anyone else got any other business?
So I have the pointer warp proposal that's up in Wayland Protocols that I need an Akina review for so that it can land. We already have implementations, sample implementations for SDL and Qt and Quinn, and it looks like it might actually be fairly trivial to also add to Mir itself. But this is apparently a big deal for CAD applications. So I literally need an Akina review by somebody that is a member of the Mir Wayland team people thing. Yes, Chris, please.
Okay, yeah, right, that's an action, shall we?
But yeah, so getting that in will allow us to get that shipped, and I am going to be one of the things that's on my docket for this summer is working with Matt Kosarek on prototyping a global shortcuts protocol to bridge for portal implementations as well as other things, because my time is starting to free up a little bit so I can actually focus on this a little. And I think the plan is that we'll try to prototype this with Miracle Whim and then see how that works out. And with the Budgie folks, we'll probably start the portal implementation once we have an implementation of the screen copy, the new image capture protocol in Miraway.
Yeah, I think that is actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's properly on our roadmap for this cycle to do the whatever the
Some sort of global hotkeys.
global hotkeys
Yes.
support protocols. So you'll it might not necessarily be me, it might be like Tarek or somebody else, but one of us will
Sure.
be doing
Somebody,
Yeah.
you were the one who reached out to me via Matrix like a month and a half ago. So like,
it. It was me. I said, hey, we should do this.
So one thing like
Yes.
that we will probably be looking at changing that protocol to be more featureful. Like we want to base the old tab implementation on this, which means that we have to make it so that you can actually hold on to a gesture, keyboard gesture, let's call it for whatever.
yeah, sure.
So yeah. So we will have to like modify it, and we'll propose it upstream in the way that we feel is appropriate and that will work for the use cases that we have for it.
Yeah, I mean, I expect that your use cases are a superset of what pretty much everyone else already wants. So it's going to be fine. Like it's, I already have a basic protocol stub from when we were prototyping this in Budgie that we can start with. And I would like to see if we can kind of basically combine those efforts and make something that that we can propose upstream that can be used for a myriad of workflows. Like not everybody wants to do it portal ways. but like being able to support both Portalway and direct integration as a privileged application or whatever. I am of the opinion that I don't particularly like the idea of Portal being the only one way to do things, because we will get bitten by this. That is basically my opinion, is that we will get bitten by that. So yes, I'm all up for making sure we have a maximally useful thing as an EXT protocol that people can rely on.
That's the plan.
Okay, any more?
Do you know when you will have an initial implementation of the image source stuff? Because really, that's been the blocker for us in Budgie to start working on a cross-desktop portal application.
So we loaded it kind of towards the middle of our cycle. So within 3 months is the current plan.
Okay. Well, then that probably will hopefully line up with us starting to work on Budgie 11. So, which is fine, right? Like the current focus right now for Budgie 10 is to do whatever crap we need to do to get Budgie 10.10 out the door. And then the brand new Budgie 11 code base is going to be a Wayland-centric thing where we're starting to build out this foundational cross-desktop infrastructure as part of it. Because we all hate the current code base that's built on craptastic GNOME libraries that are not maintained anymore.
Okay. Asking once again, any other business? Okay, that's good.
All right. Thank you all. Like, stay on for a sec. Like, I'm just going to stop the recording and fix my laptop, and we'll be back for just a wrap up.
Great.
Mhm. Did it look up? You muted.
They look frozen.
Looks locked up. Yeah, it looks frozen. Oh well. At the recording's not even gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we lose the whole meeting because, the recording broke, that's